Hey, hey, Pisces, Intuitive Soul Coach here with your October 2024 bonus reading. Welcome back to my channel if you're returning, and welcome if you're new. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, Pisces. Advice from your future self here. It does look like your future self wants you to speak up about a situation that may be or feel a bit challenging, okay? You have share your voice coming out here. You have a message and your voice matters. You can be assertive and kind at the same time because remember, Pisces, it is loving to oneself to speak your truth. And I'm also getting boundaries. Boundaries also demand respect, right? Not in a controlling or powerful or overpowering way, but it can be empowering to set boundaries or draw a line in the sand. And I feel for some of you, you are being guided to use your voice at this time. Now, speak your truth in a loving way. It does show up as an emphasis around kindness with the share your voice, and you actually have the kindness card right next to it. So perhaps some of you feel like you haven't been speaking in a kind way, or others haven't been speaking kindly towards you or even about you. It says, speak your truth. Place your hand gently on your throat chakra and hum. Begin to feel your vibration and energy. Practice raising and softening your tone. Let yourself be heard. Some of you, it feels like your voice has been squashed. It feels like you haven't been listened to, you haven't been heard in some way. But I feel like the world needs and wants what you have to say, even if they don't like it. Okay, even if they don't like it. And this could even be pertaining to a specific partnership in your life. And this may also be you speaking up to attract a partnership in your life. So we'll see where this is going here. But one way to show yourself love is to practice speaking kind and loving words to yourself and others, because words hold energy. And I feel like your higher self, your future self, is tuning into that throat chakra heavily for some of you. And this is about feeling challenged to say what you need to say, feeling like you want to run or escape from it. It says be with the discomfort, be with the grief, be with the emotions that want to move through you. There's been a common theme around emotions lately, Pisces, and that is that emotions are like visitors, because we may all be feeling a wide range of emotions this month. And you have to remember that emotions are like visitors. They're going to come and they're going to go. They're not going to stay the way that you're feeling forever. But it says here, it will get better, but you have to just be with your soul. Do you need to cry? Right? Do you need to cry? And as I say that, we have the Five of Cups showing up here. This is the current situation. Some of you need a good cry. Maybe you need to be angry. Maybe you need to laugh or journal or play or sleep. Be with what you're feeling at this time. Honor it. Because if you suppress it, if you shove it down, if you don't speak up, if you're not being authentic or honest with yourself, I feel like that's going to create dis-ease, also known as disease, which could manifest physically in the body, or it's going to create dis-ease in a current relationship or a current situation that you are going through. Something I want you to connect with, this mantra: I am not alone. I am safe. I am loved. Another mantra: I speak kind words to myself and others, because the world does want to hear what you have to say, even if at times it doesn't always feel that way. Now, your present self is showing up as the Star. You're doing some massive healing here. Massive healing, Pisces. I also see that there's a wish. You may be reigniting a spark that you thought had died down, or you thought you would never have a wish come true, I feel like there's a reignition. That's what your future self is saying. Don't give up on a dream. It may not be the dream that you had originally planned out in the physical, meaning maybe a person that, you thought you were going to marry, that was a dream for you. Underneath it, the dream is perhaps of, commitment, or being in a dynamic where there's reciprocity and love and union with an individual. And just because it didn't turn out with that specific individual doesn't mean that that dream is dead, because there's something here building momentum that perhaps you can't quite see yet, but it is going to require you to engage in that throat chakra energy. If this isn't a relationship, this could be a partnership. It could be a partnership. If it's not romantic, it may be a family dynamic. It could be a friendship. It could be child, parent. It could be a work partner or a collaboration as well. But I feel like there is something around important partnerships for you here, Pisces. Now you're starting off, your present self is the star. The star is Aquarian energy, about inspiration and dreams and healing. Some of you, there was a bit of, again, a pipe dream with something physical that may have fizzled out, or it may have been short-lived. But I feel like the underlying energy of the dream in itself is being reignited. Maybe not with that same physical person or, job or whatever it may be. It's something underneath it here on a deeper level. And Spirit is saying, your future self is saying that the stars are aligning to manifest this wish. Okay, there's a brighter future ahead for you, but I see that there's still a bit of healing that is taking place for you currently, Pisces. Now, your future self says, you're coming together and you're not alone. And that was showing up for you, coming back home to you. At the bottom, it says, I am not alone. And it certainly doesn't look like you are alone physically either here in the future. This could be help. It could be resources. It could be an important partnership. This is coupled energy. It's yin yang. It can be romance. It can be, healing from maybe codependent dynamics. For those of you that had a little bit of a block up, maybe that's something you were healing, was a block of the heart. Maybe you were rejected. Maybe there was a separation. Maybe you were healing from codependency. Maybe there was a relationship that was unrequited and you had to work on that. Spirit is saying you're going to get back to this place where you're attracting the things in your life that feel more aligned with your soul. Okay, people, places, or things, even though this is showing up as two people, this is emotional. It feels right now that emotionally you're going through some things that feel very disconnected, but in the future here, possibly a 2 months time frame, I feel like you are going to feel like you're in more of alignment. You're more of in balance. Now, it's starting this Libran season though, but I am getting by the end of the year, you're coming together with some energy that has felt very far away, very fleeting. For some of you, maybe this is a dream of connecting with someone at a distance. And maybe this is something that you never thought would happen. Like, I never thought that I'd be with that person, or I never thought that, I'd get that job. And I feel like this is a dream that does bring you into alignment. And it almost feels like it was, a pipe dream. Like you couldn't believe it. You wanted it and it's here and you couldn't quite believe it. But your current situation says that there's been disappointment. There's been bitterness. There's been even a tad bit of self-pity. Maybe even a little bit of a martyr type of energy at times. Like, why doesn't this ever work out for me? Or why can't I enjoy the emotional bliss that I see others enjoying? But when this shows up in reverse, it says that you've sat in that energy, right? This is the I'm going to go eat worms type of energy, like woe is me. We've all been a little bit of a victim of our own pain at times. It's part of the human experience. So cut yourself some slack here, Pisces. The 5 of Cups is past pain receding and hope emerging. That's why you're showing up in the star. There's some new hope here towards new partnerships, new mending taking place. There's a healing of the heart that feels very, very significant. And I'm hearing home is where the heart is. And maybe it's because the turtle, well, I don't think it's a mock turtle. It is like a turtle that's not quite a turtle. It has a donkey head. Isn't that interesting? And I feel like home may not look like what you thought it did, but I feel like there's a new sense of stability, a new sense of protection. Remember, it says you're not alone, you're safe, and you are loved. And I do feel like you're protected here. For those of you that have struggled with stability or maybe a home situation, because it does say come back home. Some of you could even be moving back home, or you are reprogramming some beliefs that may have started from very early on in the home. That may be where you learn to kind of temper your voice in some way or squash your voice. Maybe you were very shy, very timid. Maybe there was a lot of activity going on in the home. Maybe you were the youngest and you felt like you were following in people's, footprints, or you had to be a certain way to be appreciated, loved, accepted, liked. And I feel like this is a big energy that you've been working through, maybe even well into your adult life, well into the relationships that have played out for you. Now, what's the question? What's the struggle here? The struggle is a sense of belonging. The struggle, or the question at hand is, how do I not feel so lonely or so isolated? Or why do I feel lonely or isolated even when I'm in partnership, right? Even for those of you that are in a partnership. And it does say here, right? Life can feel challenging when we're faced with something hard. In the discomfort of situations, it's normal to want to run or escape from it. Be with the discomfort, be with the grief, be with the emotions. And I feel like no more running. That may be part of what you're healing here, is no more running from something. And you may not even be aware. Maybe you're like, Mel, I didn't even know, because how fast can a turtle really run, right? 5 of Cups, it feels like this has been a slow moving process. And maybe you've been slowly moving away from it. Maybe you've been slowly trying to heal from something that has caused you a lot of discomfort or a lot of grief. Now, what do we need to spend less time on? Maybe the material world in some way, or focusing on what's out there. This could be the news. This could be, unprofessionalism, status. This can be money-hungry Mongols, right? This doesn't have to be, your energy. It could be someone else, King of Pentacles. It can be someone who, it's in reverse. So if there has been a disrespect, if someone has disrespected you, or perhaps this is external worldly energy coming at you, spend less time on that, okay? Because it's not helping you feel balanced. It's not helping you feel stable. And I feel like someone around you, or maybe even parts of yourself, have really struggled at times with seeking some sort of status or professionalism, or, I'm getting like dominance. Maybe this is someone around you that just doesn't feel as stable. They don't feel like they once did. Maybe spend less time on the physical, financial piece of it, and focus more time on fostering genuine connections with yourself, or with this individual, or with others. Now, what do we need to spend more time on? Having a little more fun. Knight of Wands. Beautiful. This Knight of Wands, represented by Jack Pumpkinhead, has been showing up for a lot of signs. Lo and behold, the Halloween time. He is the pumpkin. We are in October. And this is time to have fun a little bit, because there's a heaviness. You know it. I know it. We're not going to sugarcoat it. There's a little bit of a heaviness in the month of October. And even though October is endings, bringing in new beginnings, we're not meant to take things so seriously. Even though there are very, very serious things happening, how can we How can we find the silver lining? How can we embrace the changes ahead? How can we come together through struggle and challenge and grief, right? The Knight of Wands is enthusiasm and fun and adventure. It's spontaneity. It's being willing to take a risk, a bold risk. And I am getting here, take actions towards your curiosities. That's what you are meant to spend more time on, Pisces. Taking action towards what's curious, even if it seems so far-fetched, so out of the box, or people look at you and they think that you're, the pumpkin head here. Maybe some of you are going to dress up for Halloween. Perhaps this is about you having a creative idea that's way outside the box, but you're like, you know what? I don't care what other people think because this makes me happy. Go for that, because you will attract your tribe. You will attract people who resonate with that energy. And the Knight of Wands is saying here, success lies within, your perseverance and your dedication, because sometimes this Knight of Wands can be inconsistent. So if you persevere, if you stick to a routine and you continue to have fun with this routine, you could be very, very successful in whatever area that feels a little bit stuck or feels a little stagnant. Spice things up a bit. If you're in a relationship currently and the King of Wands is saying, things haven't been very stable between us for quite some time, do you want them to be? If the answer is yes, try something new. Knight of Wands, be spontaneous. Go for a trip. Spice things up in the bedroom, right? Whatever it may be for you. Knight of Wands, go to a Halloween party together. Try something new. Try a new food. Go eat at a new restaurant. For those of you that may be single, or this does have to do with your career, can you think outside the box, right? Can you try dating in a new way? Can you go up to someone instead of waiting for them to come up to you? Ask someone on a date. Don't be shy. This Knight of Wands is not shy. And even if you are a shy person, which I feel like you're funny, Pisces, you're someone who's funny. People enjoy your humor. You're witty. You're charming. You may be very, very intelligent, very good looking. And I'm feeling here for some of you, the struggle has been on, I don't have enough. I'm not growing. I'm not financially abundant, right? This can be working smarter, not harder. And the way to work smarter is thinking outside the box, thinking that, no, you don't have to be stuck. And even though sometimes we feel like we're in that hanged man energy of a hang up or a delay, you're on the brink of an awakening here, and you have to think outside the box and allow spirit to help guide you. Remember, spirit is our biggest co-creating partner. So spend more time on the Knight of Wands, taking action towards your curiosities. What do we need to remember? What do we need to remember? The King of Wands. Remember that this knight, he gets to the king by taking action, by taking risks. So if you take risks now, remember that you're going to get to this king. I love this for you. This can be business ownership. It can be someone who's very active, very passionate in their relationships. This can be someone who is an influencer, very successful, very adventurous, a world leader, someone who loves to travel, someone who may even be by the water, work with the water in some way. Wands is fiery, very passionate. But I also see here, remember when you used to take risks, right? It almost feels like someone hasn't taken a risk for a while. And this can also be opening up the heart. We need to take a risk sometimes, be vulnerable, to have something far greater than our dreams could have ever imagined. And that's what you're showing up as here with the star energy, Pisces. This is big dreams. This is big wishes. This is a bright future. This is dreams coming true and manifesting because you didn't give up on yourself, because you are brave enough to take risks. This King of Wands doesn't get there without marching to the beat of his own drum, sharing his voice. You know, what's interesting here is the King of Wands, he is someone who's very expressive. He's very expressive of his ideas, right? He's very resourceful, very warm. He is someone who's assertive. Some of you could be authors. Some of you could be writers, creators, publishers, or you're meant to speak up, ask for what you want, because people respect you. People look at you as a very kind, wise leader, an individual. Remember that. Even though sometimes you forget, remember that you can face challenging times. And sometimes you have to think outside the box, so far outside the box that, it may question the status quo, but I feel like you have everything you need to create these big changes and go all the way. What do we need to let go of? Emotional, physical, financial stagnancy. Knight of Pentacles in reverse. That is not taking action. It's someone who lacks focus and discipline, someone who's lost their way. When the Knight of Pentacles shows up, let go of I'm getting poor time management. How do you use your time? It feels like there are improvements that you could utilize when it comes to time management. It feels like some of you, it could even be health, taking a look at physical health. Some of you want to see change, but you're not willing to take the action to change it up. If you want to see the change, you must be the change here. And I feel like someone is stuck, someone is on pause. We need to let go of maybe a belief or a mindset here, or a lack of focus. How can we get disciplined, basically? Let go of lack of discipline. And that's why you have, the Knight of Wands is saying take action, but be consistent within your curiosities. Because some of you, the struggle could be, okay, I have an idea or I have this dream, and then you do something about it for one day, right? Or 1 week. It's like going on that diet. I feel really good today. I'm going to hold true to this Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, but Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm not going to eat very good. And since I'm already not eating good, I'm just going to let it spiral. And then maybe I'll pick it up again in the fall, or, maybe the new year. So sometimes we procrastinate, and that is what you are being guided to let go of. Do it now. Your future self will thank you. What do we need to give ourselves credit for? The family that you have, the tribe, the support. This can be spiritual. It can be in spirit, right? Your ancestors, your loved ones. This could be your friends and your family. Give yourself credit because you are a good sister, a good brother, a good father, a good mother, a good friend, a good coworker. Whatever labels you have here, Pisces, you are a good, kind individual, and you've helped out so many people. Give yourself a pat on the back. You are so very loved. You have such a beautiful heart, and you help so many people out. And when you need it, they're going to have your back too. Okay, they're going to have your back too. So what is the potential here? What is the potential to have showing up? Wow, you have the Witch, which I love. You have some big major arcanas here. You have the Star, you have the Witch, and at the bottom of the deck, looky what we have here. You have the Lovers. So when the Witch shows up as the outcome, this is actually a bonus card. It is card 25 of the Major Arcana. Now there's only 21 in the Major Arcana. The creator and author of this deck added a few bonus, which I love. I love the bonus Major Arcanas here. The Witch is magic. It's transformation. It's balance. It's wisdom. It's spells, right? It's a beautiful energy about your gifts. You are so very gifted. You are so very intuitive. And a lot of you have these witchy vibes. Drop it in the comment. Have you been a witch for Halloween? Or some of you, you've been a witch in past lives. Okay, raise your hand if you have. I know I have. And the Witch card is all about you being protected, and as you shine that inner light bright. Because who's protecting you? Glinda. Look at that big old pink bubble that's hovering over Dorothy here. You're a powerful force. You are a force to be reckoned with, right? Don't get Pisces upset. They're going to cast. No, I'm just kidding, Pisces. But I feel like you are someone who, you do hold such magic within you. And sometimes you self-doubt your magic. Sometimes you self-doubt your own intuitive abilities, or your ability to stay true to yourself and your path. right? Sometimes you self-doubt your own intuition. Therefore, you may look for validation externally or outside of yourself. If you're going to look for any validation, ask Linda here. Ask your guides. Ask your spiritual team for protection, for clarity. Trust in your path and stay true to it. Because some of you, it feels like that you veered off a little bit. But I actually like to see the Five of Cups in reverse, because every one of us are going to go through the Five of Cups. Every one of us, right? We're going to go through some sort of, or we have gone through some sort of broken heart, disappointment, regrets, betrayal, maybe even depression, or just felt like we were very stagnant emotionally. When are we going to come out of this? When are we going to feel better emotionally? When are we going to finally feel happiness or joy? And I feel like you've sat in that. You have, but it's in reverse, which means past pain is receding. Hope is emerging for you. That's where you're at. The star, that's where you're at. I'm getting the Mayan calendar here for some reason, the Mayan calendar. Maybe some of you are looking into like dates, Mayan calendar dates, or maybe zodiacal release, if you're not familiar with that. There's something here about important dates. Or perhaps some of you have even done some digging into past lives, and maybe the Mayan times is significant. Okay, I'm not sure why that's showing up. And I'm also getting with the Witch card. This is about you creating your reality, right? And it's also, she's holding her slippers there. And what does she do at the very end of the movie, right? She taps those slippers 3 times and she says, there's no place like home. So I feel like you are finding that home within yourself. There's a piece of yourself that you are coming back home to. And the bottom of the deck here, you have the dreamer. And it says the dreamer inside of you will teach you everything. You are here, Pisces, to discover your purpose and set yourself free. You were made to feel what it feels like to soar with the eagles high in the sky. Visualize your dream. Oh, I'm loving this because you start off with the star. You start off with a dream. Visualize it. Be as clear as you can. Imagine every detail, every feeling. Imagine it fully in your mind until you can actually feel it as if it were already real now. When you tap into the feelings of your dreams, you experience it as if it's real right now, right? Tapping into the feeling brings you closer and closer to it. And you have the magic, you have the ability to, it says tap, right? Tapping into the feeling. And what does she do? She taps those slippers. There's something here about, I mean, maybe some of you do some emotional freedom tapping, but I also feel like it almost feels like third time's a charm, or third marriage. This could be third business move, third, something with 3s. Maybe you're the third child or you have 3 children. Okay, 3 could be significant for some of you. I'm also getting Roxanne. Okay, the name Roxanne, or maybe some of you are singing that song Roxanne in karaoke. I'm not sure, but I feel like this dreamer inside of you is waking up. This dreamer inside of you is speaking your truth. And I feel like the world needs your gift here. So don't dim that light. Don't second guess your abilities. Trust in yourself, because you have the support here of the 10 of Cups. This may not be your bloodline, although it could be. For a lot of you, it is physical, but it could also be your ancestors and loved ones in spirit. But this could also be your tribe, the people here on earth that support you. The people, that you are drawing into your life. And I see that there could also be a best friend around you. I'm getting like a bestie energy. Okay, maybe your best friend is your lover. I mean, that's the best case scenario, right? The 2 of Cups, this is someone, I'm getting like ride or die is what I'm hearing. Your ride or die. So maybe some of you have said that, or maybe this person has said that to you, or maybe this person is into vehicles, right? Riding. Goodness. Okay. But I also am getting with the die piece, it doesn't have to be like physical death, right? It has to do with transformation. Like this person is willing to transform with you, because remember, death can be a death of the old to embrace new journeys. Let's get one final message here for you. Oh, and they're saying, check the top. We have balance. Now we're in Libran season. Some of you really need to work on connecting to your body, taking care of your body more. Okay, eating healthier, staying hydrated, paying attention to the energies and the people that support you, uplift you, and also paying attention to what drains you, what empties you. When we feel connected to our mind, body, and soul, we feel more balance in our life. The only way to feel balance is to create it. Say yes to things that are a soul yes, Pisces, and no to things that are a no, a soul no. Do one thing today to feel balanced and harmonized in your life. That's what this Libran energy is all about. Some of you could be doing some yoga. There could be, a balancing up between eating as well. It doesn't mean that you can't ever eat anything unhealthy, right? But can you moderate that instead of going to extremes? Because some of you, when those emotions come in like a hotcake, full force, right? We quite literally might crave that hotcake. We might crave the sweets. We might crave the sugar because there's something with the cortisol dropping and we instantly want to reach to something sweet. And that's also symbolic for we want a little more sweetness in our lives. And that food can be something that maybe some of you have struggled with. Do one thing today to feel balance and harmony in your life. Maybe it's a massage. Maybe it's meditation. This could be a walk in nature. Maybe you need to say no. Maybe you need to say yes. Your mantra, I feel balance when I honor what I need most. That's what your future self wants you to know. Balance things up now, right? Balance things up now. And I do see you appreciating more so your gifts, your abilities, your skills, your talents. But when you are in this energy, this is how you attract, right? You're going to be able to attract things sooner that align with you because this Two of Cups is law of attraction. And I feel like you are attracting something that it is a wish. You've wanted this for quite some time. You got to trust it. That is what I have for you, Pisces. I hope this resonates. If so, please hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to share, like, subscribe, and hit that bell if you haven't already. Thank you again so much for tuning in. Lots of love.